Hello, welcome to Carrington, where Manchester United host Liverpool in the Under-18s Premier League North. United are looking to bounce back after a disappointing defeat to Sunderland last time out, a result which jilted their title chances. But what a game to bounce back in against our fierce rivals Liverpool. This game is brilliant no matter what level it takes place. And of course we've got the main event, the Premier League match to look forward to at the weekend. So let's take a check on the two sides then, beginning with Darren Fletcher's Manchester United. In goal, it's Cameron Byrne-Hughes. The back four is Yul Halafu, Rafe McCormack, usually a midfielder, but can play centre-half, alongside the captain Albert Mills, with James Overy on the left. The two sitting midfielders, Jim Thwaite and Jay McAvoy, with Gabriel ahead of them. The wingers, Junior Brown and Noah Ajayi, are either side of number 9, Louis Bradbury, who scored against Sunderland last time out. On the bench, Heath, Plunkett, Shah, Ibrahimov and Sam Lusali. As for Liverpool, two of their main threats will be the number 7, Joseph Bradshaw, and the number 9, Lemore Lee Forrester. Both of those players have 9 goals apiece, so aiming to get into double figures for the season. Other than that, it's pretty much a like-for-like formation. And we know that Liverpool will offer a threat no matter how they're doing in the league. So, a really interesting game awaits. Conditions on TV may look perfect here at Carrington, but there is a really gusty wind blowing, so both sides will need to keep it on the deck and play. OK, let's hand over to your commentators alongside Dave Stowell. It's Arthur Albiston.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yes, on the face of it, a glorious Mancunian day is the setting for the latest chapter in the Under-18 season and provides the backdrop for a fixture that needs no introduction at any level. Manchester United against Liverpool. We've certainly seen some frantic, frenetic and feisty battles between Under-18 sides from Manchester and Merseyside over the years. So I wonder what they'll serve up for us today, Arthur, in the beautiful sunshine here.
Yeah, perfect conditions. Pitch looks excellent. Not often that we've had sort of almost no wind, a little bit of wind as we've got here, but certainly blue skies, great for April.
Indeed, and lots of changes for Manchester United today. I suppose we look at United Under-18 sides at this stage of the season, and it's often about perhaps having an eye on next season in terms of the Under-21s level, as well as giving important game time to some who've missed out on the campaign matches due to bumps and bruises along the way. So a bit of a freshen up today, but it's full of regulars and full of goals, of course.
Exactly. It's always a tough game against Liverpool for our opponents from down these flanks. Always tight games usually. I remember a couple of seasons ago we went over there and scored 5 or 6. It might have even been 7, I think, but certainly you don't get games like that often. But we've got a very strong side here. They've had a great season, been up there challenging all season. Lost against Sunderland last game, but they're hoping to rebound and get a win today to get back on the trail again.
And under the watchful eye, of course, of Darren Fletcher these days, who knows the journey very well from academy up to first team, as indeed you do, Arthur. It's always interesting to have people, ex-players and good people around who know what these youngsters are going through, know what it takes to get to the top. Yeah,
and Darren knows exactly where to go from that perspective as well. Came through the system here, through the youth team and everything, right into the first team, winning trophies. So he knows what's expected representing this club. It's we're doing well in the Youth Cup as well. I just forgot to mention that. We've got a game against Manchester City coming up, but big match today. We've ran them close in the league. We're still chasing down the points that they've got at the moment, so hopefully we can rebound with a win today, get back on the winning trail and so try and close that gap.
Yes, indeed. It's been fascinating to watch the results come in through the course of the Under-18 season and see how the youngsters have developed. And of course, in terrific surroundings here, the pitch looking fantastic, bearing in mind we're at the end of April. You think back to over the years gone by and how pitches deteriorate through the course of a season. Not these days and not here. And superb conditions underfoot for these two sides to show us what they can do. And of course we know that to be a Manchester United or Liverpool academy player you have to be talented, but for this fixture you have to have character, don't you?
Yeah, I think both sets of players will obviously know exactly the importance of this fixture. Big rivals from not far away. always tough games against them. I can think back to, I can remember games that we played in under 16, under 17 against Liverpool. They had a very strong side as well. It's strange how matches can stick in your mind even at that level. But getting further up the ladder and getting into under 21s and reserves and first team, that's the aim for these lads, and hopefully we'll see them in that role later on as the years go by.
We've touched on the wind, and Mark Sullivan was mentioning it there at the top of the show. You can see it with the assistants' flags there. There is a sort of blustery, gusty element to today, which might well play a part in how proceedings unfold. I guess this is not just about how you play in terms of your ability with the ball, but how you are sensible with the conditions as well. Of course, we know that down here at Carrington, it's a very open area of grass, therefore wind can influence the game. But these youngsters, of course, are used to that, and it's about sometimes being a bit sensible with how you set things up, how you play your game, how you physically approach things.
Exactly, yeah. As I say, they're used to that. It's perfect conditions, but you always get a bit of wind here blowing down the pitch, and I'm sure the players are well used to that now. The main thing is we've got sunny weather, dry weather, and the pitch is actually excellent condition as normal.
And the usual pre-match housekeeping is going to be undertaken now. Kieran Williams, our referee this morning, just getting the two skippers together. They've already had a bit of a conversation about how the game should unfold in terms of behaviour. Joe Upton and Albert Mills, the two with the armbands today. And we know that midfield area will be particularly combative. It always is at this level and in this fixture. And quite often the midfield battle can be key to the progress of the game. Albert Mills is going to drop in at centre-half, of course, with Rafe McCormack, who can play in the centre of the park. And we may well see him there later on today, depending on the changes that Darren Fletcher makes. But just wonder what that engine room battle will be like this afternoon.
That'll be key to the game, I would imagine. Both our fullbacks, or say their fullbacks, Overy and Halafu, push into midfield as if you're an extra midfield player when United have the ball. So all the players are changeable, really. They've all played further up the pitch. Thwaites has come back in again. He's missed a few games. Gabriel playing off Bradbury up front. So the middle of the park is a key, and hopefully we can create chances from there.
So Liverpool will start us. Prince Cisse just making sure the ball is where it should be. Glorious sunshine to greet these two sides on what is always a very well contested fixture. Can be a really eye-catching football match, can sometimes be a battle as well. Might well be a mix of those two things today, and Manchester United looking for a fast start with Junior Brown applying the pressure in the opening 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, Bradbury done really well there. Chased his own header and almost set Junior Brown through there with his attempted pass.
Lots of pace in this Manchester United side, lots of goals as well. All but two of the outfielders starting in Darren Fletcher's side today have scored at some point through the under-18 season. Referee Kieran Williams trying to play advantage wherever he can to let the game flow early doors here. Il Halafu, who is strong defensively but strong offensively as well, as you've alluded to, Arthur.
Yeah, he'll get forward at every opportunity on that right-hand side to give Junior Brown some support.
One of those players who stepped up to the 21s as well during the course of this season. It's been a fair bit to take in with all the academy sides at Manchester United as ever. With FA Youth Cup success a real possibility. Brown trying to make his presence felt up against Farkas. He was just a little too sharp in the challenge. Liverpool without their top scorer at this level, Joshua Lambie, today. He's got 19 goals for the season. But they do have Joe Bradshaw and Lamore Forrester, who've hit 9 apiece. in the side today, wearing 7 and 9 respectively, just trying to apply a bit of pressure on the ball here as United come out with it. Snappy turn from Thwaites and a nice ball as well for Ajayi. We know what he can do from this left-hand side. 2 to take on here. He's done really well against both of them and put it on a plate for Bradbury, who couldn't quite find the corner.
Certainly tried, didn't miss by much either. Never quite caught it, Bradbury, as well as he would have expected, but it looks like it was just going to creep in at that far post there, just wide. But Ajayi creating the problems on this left-hand side. Can go either way, right and left foot, twisting and turning. I'm sure he'll cause the Liverpool defence some problems if he continues like that.
Louis Bradbury has scored 10 goals for the under-18s this season, a couple in the 21s as well. And somebody who was part of the scoring in a game that came to life early on against Sunderland in the last United under-18s match. 3 goals in the match, all in the first quarter of an hour. But United coming out on the wrong end of a 2-1 scoreline.
Yeah, Louis Bradbury got us right back into the game, scoring from a corner that came in.
Joe Upton there trying to dig the ball out for Liverpool. But it's collected by James Overy. Very comfortable playing out from the back, of course, Manchester United, Jim Thwaites. Another player who's been stepping up to the 21s through the course of the campaign. Mills. Lafu back for Mills again to try and look forward. A fair few galloping on, including Overy here, who just went a little too soon, which is frustrating because he made a lot of ground there to get there and cause some problems for Liverpool.
Yeah, just the linesman on that far side, he's looking as he's making his run, just got to delay it a little bit more. But good play again from Mills. They're building up from the back and just trying to set Overy off on that left-hand side.
Thumped forward by Prince Cisse. Farkas collecting here, trying to drift past Brown and Helafu as well. Well, Liverpool have had their struggles this season. They won their last game against Nottingham Forest. 4-3 it was away from home. In the previous game they'd lost 4-3 away from home at Sunderland. That was one of 3 defeats on the bounce before their recovery in the last game. Their FA Youth Cup campaign only lasted the 1 game. They were knocked out in the 3rd round by Charlton Athletic. There's been a fair bit of frustration for the Liverpool lads this season, albeit of course it's always important at this level to take results sometimes with a pinch of salt, because clubs approach matches differently in terms of development.
And teams change quite regular. Some lads maybe get pushed up to the 21s and play a lot of football there. You've got to utilise your whole squad to be fair, to give everybody a chance. So teams sort of reflect that. They change quite regularly.
Often say, don't they, that you judge an academy based on the players who step out of it rather than perhaps the results that they create at the time. Liverpool, of course, at this level could call upon Rio and Gamoa if they wish to. The 17-year-old who's very much part of Arne Slot's plans at Anfield these days.
It's always great to get results, but ultimately the aim is to push players on further up the sort of ladder, really into the 21s and then further into the first team.
Liverpool free kick. Overy helping it back to Cameron Burton-Hughes. Half a dozen clean sheets for him this season in his 17 Manchester United appearances.
Yeah, his use of the ball with his feet's excellent. Tries to set off so many attacks. hitting the midfield players and the strikers when he can.
Nice work from Bradbury, taken on by Elafu. Overy already a willing runner in this game. Looking for Gabriel. On again for Ajayi. His touch was just a little heavy. Allowed Cisse to close the door.
Right idea, just get yourself over that 18-yard line into the box and ask some questions of your opponents.
Already a good pace to this game, a good feel to it. 7.5 minutes gone so far of two sides just working each other out. And a bit of space here for Bradshaw, who is one to keep an eye on today. As I mentioned, 9 goals for him this season. Overy is down and has stayed there, which is a concern. Gabriel takes over, manoeuvres himself into a little pocket of space.
Yeah, just trying to pick Brown out on that right-hand side. Just hit it too central and gave the keeper a chance to come out.
Overy back on his feet, by the way, and straight into a foot race. Offside flag going up against Lamorley Forrester. Doesn't seem to be any issue ongoing for Overy after that challenge.
Yeah, he won the ball cleanly then. I think he just got caught by his opponent. I don't think there was any intent at all.
Elafu forced to retreat. Back to Byrne Hughes, who's really shared the goalkeeping responsibilities with Freddie Heath this season in the Manchester United goal. Heath, one of those on the bench for the under-18s today. Ajayi, nice little drop of the shoulder to allow Gabriel to take over.
He does that so well, Ajayi, coming on the left-hand side, cutting inside on his right, and it gives defenders big problems because he's comfortable with both feet.
Touch just overcooked a little. Thwaites just a little lively with the ball. It's funny, isn't it, thinking back over the seasons in which we've watched United against Liverpool battles at this level. So many clashes stand out, so many players from those clashes stand out who've gone on to do terrific things in the game. Here's Forrester trying to help it in, but it'll be claimed by Byrne Hughes. That FA Youth Cup clash at Anfield, one of those that sticks in the mind, of course. Ravel Morrison scoring to get Manchester United through in a game where there were 4 red cards. Paul Pogba, Connor Cody, Tyler Blackett, Christopher Samet.
Your memory's a lot better than mine. I'll let you continue with that. I remember the game, yeah.
It's just funny to think of
A long time ago.
Cody and Blackett having a bit of a to-do together, both emerging with ripped shirts. And they've gone on to have terrific careers since then. Here's Brown, trying to find that half a yard. It's a clever ball over towards Bradbury, who was waiting for it, just wouldn't quite find him.
He's done well there, Brown, getting to the dead ball line, hanging that ball up to the far post.
Here he goes again, up against Harvey Owen. Back for McCormack, who, of course, is very comfortable getting involved in the middle of the park in his default setting. Gabriel shifting from left to right. Thwaites now moving it on for Overy. Ajayi. to Mills. He will always make himself available for the ball. Bradbury happy to drop off. Brown well and truly into his stride, but finding the wrong number 10 on that occasion.
Yeah, just surrounded there by Liverpool shots there, ready to pounce on it.
It's going to be a yellow card for Brown, who was perhaps frustrated he didn't get the ball in to the right place at the vital moment, but then a pullback, which...
I think that's exactly right.
A natural yellow card.
Yeah, just brushed his arm and tugged it.
First bit of paperwork for Kieran Williams, the referee. Liverpool's turn to attack here, and Burn Hughes had to grasp that out of the air.
He's not had much to do really, but he certainly made his mark there, claiming that quickly.
As you could hear there, Kieran Williams, the referee, very hot, as many are at this level, on the amount of time the ball is in the hands of the goalkeepers, getting them used to the rule for the journey further up the footballing ladder.
Yeah, some of the referees we've had recently have been quite sharp with that, to make sure that the keepers do release it after they've got the, I think it's, I don't know how many seconds it is, but it's not that much anyway.
Well, the idea is they count it down vocally and using the arm as well, so you're well and truly aware of how long you have. Cameron Burn Hughes left in no doubt there, and no doubt Bailey Hall in the Liverpool goal will have taken note. Here's McCormack. Taken on by Helafu. It's almost a case of just seeing which of these two sides sort of blink first, in a way, isn't it? Who's going to really open up the other one? Or who's going to make an error that really opens things up?
Yeah, at least we've created some chances with the possession that we've had in the first sort of 10-15 minutes of this game. Everybody's had a touch of the ball, got a feel for it.
United playing out nicely until the challenge from Cisse was a little too lively. He didn't feel there was much wrong with it, but I think Gabriel would disagree.
Won the ball and then followed through, really. I think you've got somebody physically, obviously, more developed than somebody a couple of years younger.
That's a good point you raised there, actually, because, of course, we see that a lot in academy football through the age groups, don't we? There's obviously, with some players, there's a difference between ability with the feet and physicality, which you can either be on the right side of the fence or the wrong side of the fence in certain moments.
Yeah, I think that's what the Liverpool players complain about. He didn't do anything wrong in his eyes, winning the ball, and then there's going to be a contact, and you've got somebody that's just a little bit more developed than your opponent.
Forward by McCormack, who was certainly on the right page with Junior Brown. It was just the pass was a little forceful. United hierarchy in, keeping an eye on the youngsters.
Yeah, it's good to see that, and it's great for the youngsters to see that as well, that the managerial team higher up the ladder take a big interest in the lads at this age.
Of course, Manchester United against Liverpool, a fixture that resonates with everyone at both clubs, and of course the first team tussle will be upon us at the weekend. All the usual build-up and coverage around the first team match day, of course, right here on MUTV. Always feels like the build-up to a game like that goes on for longer than for your average Premier League game because of what it means to fans.
Yeah, exactly. The build-up begins sort of way, well, weeks in advance. Everybody looks forward to that fixture.
Here's McAvoy. What a hit that is to really light up this game. 17 minutes in, and it has been cat and mouse up until that point. United's number 8 lashing that one home for the opener.
Patient build-up, just one touch to control and smash that into the net there, giving Hall no chance really, flying in at the near post. Possibly Hall's thinking it's maybe going to go over to the other side of the goal, but from that angle, I think he's just surprised the keeper. He's smashed that and burst the net. Great attempt, really, so early in the game as well.
His 6th goal of the campaign, and one to savour, not least because of the way it was hit and the fixture in which it has come. We were saying moments ago about how a match like this, the way it was panning out, the very equal nature of the start of the game. Now you just need someone to just grab the match by the scruff of the neck.
There's not been sort of that many attempts for both keepers to sort of show their mettle, if you like, but certainly that was a fantastic hit there from McAvoy. He couldn't have hit it any better. Really sweet, and flew in at 90 miles an hour.
Jim Thwaites just testing the heart rate of his goalkeeper Cameron Byrne-Hughes there, but getting away with it, getting it out from the United box. McCormack fouled.
He's got great ability with the ball at his feet. It does make you miss a beat now and again, but he knows what he's doing, and as I said before, trying to build up attacks and get United on the front foot, especially in the middle of the park with early release of the ball.
Of course, it's important to point out that the reverse fixture between these two sides in November was 1-0 to Manchester United until the 43rd minute. Then it became 2-0, and then the second half, United went goal crazy, winning by 7 goals to 0 in the end. A few of the scorers from that game are starters today. Gabriel got a hat-trick, Bradbury scored, Thwaites hit one from the penalty spot.
For some reason I had it in my head that it was last season. It seems so long ago, but certainly once they hit the goal trail, there was no turning back for United that day.
To be fair, a fair bit's happened since November, hasn't it?
It is. For some reason, I don't know why, I was just thinking it was more than a season ago, but they certainly hit the goal trail once they got the first one.
Yeah, goals after 66, 71, 84, 90 and 92. Really turning up the heat on Liverpool in the second half of that game. Ball back from Albert Mills, who wears 4 today. He was wearing 3 in that game back in November. And various players who are in slightly different positions today for both teams as they were in that initial match.
I was just going to say, Mills does that very well. If there's sort of green grass in front of him, he sprints forward quickly with it, but got hampered on that occasion.
Overy for a J. Certainly plays with the confidence that he feels he's got the beating of his men on this side.
Yeah, comfortable once he gets running as well, and he's very quick, and he's chipped in with a decent number of goals all season.
Yeah, 8 goals for Nora J in the 18s. He's come off the bench as well for the 21s this season. Nicely done by Thwaites. Digging it out there for McAvoy.
He's done well there, Thwaites. Managing to get it to McAvoy, then they can go out the other side if needs be.
Ball slid through, just wouldn't quite roll into the path of Gabriel. Now Liverpool on the hunt for something here, maybe. Eden, maybe in the back of his mind, thought about hitting it, but decided to try and thread it through instead.
Yeah, they'll sit back and try and win the ball, and then as soon as they win it, they hit you with pace. You've just got to be aware of that.
Eden again, finding a bit of room. Upton, he was just ushered away from goal by Gabriel. Upton again, told to drive forward with it this time. It's one of the beauties of under-18s football, isn't it, that you often hear the instructions coming from the sideline. Sometimes you hear a few things that you perhaps don't necessarily want to hear.
Always getting encouragement. Darren and his team over there, we hear that all the time. Just giving people instructions and help what to do.
Here come Liverpool again. Bradshaw. United alive to the threat there. Although the ball gifted back to Eden and moved on by Owen. Got a fair few forward for Forrester to look for here. He did well to keep it in play for as long as he did.
Yeah, driving into the box and had to be stopped. Alafu just sticking with him. In the end, it's McCormack getting a tackle in there.
McCormack just shaking off a bit of a knock there as the two came together. Upton's corner then. Put plenty underneath that.
Just a bit too much, I think. Downwind as well, just carried all the way over.
Yeah, frustration for Simon Miles there. So difficult for a manager or a head coach at any level when you've worked hard on tactics and the technical side of the game, and then someone gets a corner and just punts it out the other side for a throw-in.
It's not only the coach that would get upset. I think some of the big lads that will come up from the back wouldn't be too pleased.
Here go Liverpool with the forceful approach and then trying to just slide it through. Easily read though by Cameron Byrne-Hughes. Elafu for McCormack. Farkas isn't letting him out easily here, and Byrne-Hughes had to be there to sweep it away. It's just a great example there of how pressure can win you the ball without you actually touching it.
Yeah, exactly that. If you haven't sorted where the pass is going, you soon get closed down and force you into errors. But Byrne-Hughes helped out there with coming out his box for a pass.
And it bounces away harmlessly for a Manchester United goal kick. We've passed the midway point of the first half. So far without an awful lot of sort of cut and thrust in the final third. Manchester United lead through a moment of inspiration from Jay McAvoy, which will have been appreciated by all of those watching on in that quartet, particularly, of course, someone who could step out of midfield and hit them so well, like the manager these days, Michael Carrick, did in his playing career.
No, it was a very sweet strike to put the United ahead.
Over his pass, just rolling away from McAvoy. Farkas showing too much of that to Gabriel. This is Helafu. And McAvoy is in, but couldn't quite pick out Bradbury, who had two watching him.
Yeah, right idea. I tried to get into Bradbury quickly. One touch and fire it into Bradbury, but two white shots marking him.
Foul on Helafu. He was keen to get on with it swiftly, with Thwaites in close quarters. McCormack stepping out.
Good play again, driving forward.
Brown taking on Harvey Owen, just keeping an eye on the ball. And that's a foul. Oh, and then the ball, I'm not sure whether that was intended by Harvey Owen, but the ball found the face of Thwaites after he was fouled.
Yeah, good play again by Thwaites there. Control the ball, excellent, moving it and then getting fouled.
Perhaps it was a little naughty.
Yeah, I think the ref's going to have a word with Owen about that. Just apologising. He's almost right on top of him, a couple of yards away when he's sort of crashed him with the ball in his face.
I think the referee went to his pocket and then decided against it.
Well, if it was at Old Trafford with 75,000 there, like there will be at the weekend, I think there would have been some mourning about that.
Some lively discussion in the stands, perhaps.
Main thing is he's okay, that's the main thing.
And off go United again. Bit of room for Brown momentarily. McAvoy for Thwaites, who's back up and running. And McAvoy with the fast feet and the fine finish. And that is 2 for him and 2 for United. And he just danced through the Liverpool defence there.
Yeah, great play from Thwaites there, getting to the dead ball line. Picking out McAvoy again, moves it from right to left. Finds a target again for the second goal that he scored. Keeps this one low, makes sure it's on target, and it's almost on top of the keeper Hall. Can't read where it's going. Fantastic finish.
Very much enjoying his afternoon in the sunshine, and I'm sure there'll be a nice few souvenir photos to take away from the day as well, the way he has celebrated.
Yeah, good connection with him and Thwaites there, with each other's play. Yeah, good play again from McCormack, driving forward with the ball.
And here's McAvoy through for a J. Plenty to look for in the middle if he can get the ball across. In the end, it was decent defending to stop him in his tracks. And Burn Hughes out to make sure that that is his.
Yeah, always alert. Overhit that pass just on the edge of his box, picks it up no problem. Just sizing up his options, taking his time.
Which United can well and truly afford to do now in the position they're in. After a clinical first 31 minutes, I'd say, because there haven't been too many chances, but the ones that have come along have been taken. You could argue the first goal wasn't truly a chance. Here's a J trying to set something up for someone else, or maybe for himself.
Yeah, good mopping up again from Jim Thwaites. finding Brown.
He's going to try and take Liverpool on here and find the corner. Well watched by Bailey Hall.
Yeah, cutting inside Brown on his left foot. Just try to drill it into the near post, but Hall was up to that one.
Mills in charge of the situation here. That's just dribbled over the line.
Yeah, linesman only a couple of yards away. He's not going to miss that one.
Good battling once again. Gabriel this time.
Yeah, forcing Liverpool back the way. Almost won the ball there, Gabriel.
Upton. That's the kind of area in which he can cause trouble. Almost turning defence into attack, which United do now here with Gabriel, who's given Brown some running to do. In the end, just a little too much running to do.
Yeah, good play again from United, driving forward with, if they've got green grass in front of them, I think it was Mills there that started that off at the back.
Thwaites. Back again to McCormack and Elafu. For McAvoy. Now that's a Liverpool-Manchester United sort of warm-up challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it could have been Steve Gerrard and Wayne Rooney there. Up and on with it, no problem.
Yeah, nothing sinister, just two players working hard for the ball. We're into the, well, almost into the final 10 minutes of the first half. As the game develops, it's always interesting to see who is used from the bench and when, just to change things up a little bit for the two sides. Gabriel on the ball and then on the floor.
Yeah, two white shirts closing them down there, eventually winning the ball back. Done well though, Gabriel, driving forward again with the ball at his feet.
Way by Hall, just about. Thwaites ball through, blocked, helped out by Mills. Overy just missing out. Nicely done by Cisse, who's going to carry on running, but Bradshaw goes the other way. And Morley Forrester kept quiet by Elafu, initially at least. And nice work from McAvoy.
Yeah, helping out Elafu, winning the ball back for United.
Yeko stopped in his tracks. Kept alive nicely by Cisse. They want a Liverpool ball, they're going to get one. Liverpool feel they've got a little bit of momentum here, which they haven't had for a while.
Yeah, they've been sort of, as soon as the ball goes out of play, they try to get it back in and get started again quickly. They are 2 goals down.
Farkas trying to find a route through to goal, and wasn't quite what Bradshaw had in mind.
Good defender from United there, hurrying Liverpool into a misplaced pass and getting the ball back now.
Encouragement from the man in charge, who's seen it all before at this level. Such an impressive roll of honour. The players who've made the trip from academy football all the way up to the first team at Manchester United. And of course, every time you come here to the training ground, you're reminded of the names and the journey, the way that the training ground is set up and the decor around the place.
I'm sure when the opposition come here and they drive through the gates here and see the Manchester United training ground, it must give them a little bit of a boost. Teams come here and just give that extra 10%.
I've certainly seen that down through the years with some of the sides who've been struggling in the league, but just puff the chest out a little bit more when they come to a place like this. Of course, those feelings are perhaps slightly different from a Liverpool point of view today, with the two sides being such familiar foes at all levels. Foul by Halafu. Well, no surprise to see United starting in a lively fashion here today after the defeat last time out against Sunderland. Good foot in from Thwaites.
Yeah, won the ball very cleanly. Sets United on the attack if they want to.
Elafu and McAvoy. Back to McCormack. Liverpool trying to pen United in. Farkas just losing his footing. Eden was certainly fired up to try and make sure they couldn't escape in red. Brown fighting for it. It'll bounce the way of Overy here, who encourages Ajay further forward. Gabriel. Quick first touch to try and buy himself some time and some room. That's a frustrating end to a promising attack.
Yeah, Gabriel showing the fleet-footedness there. Decided to come back out in the midfield. Couldn't quite hold on to it.
Back to Byrne-Hughes, or back to Hall rather, at the other end. Cameron Byrne-Hughes so far untroubled really in this game. Away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, just overhit that pass. Going with the wind, the way the wind's going, it's just never going to stay in play.
Overy up against Bradshaw, who realised all of a sudden that he was pressing all on his own. You can probably hear the wind whistling around the training ground here, whistling around our TV gantry.
Yeah, it doesn't look as if the players have been affected. It's just some passes actually you can tell when it's either overhit if it's with the wind, or it's not enough on it if you're into the wind.
Yeah, that one being a great example, wasn't it? Just didn't quite have enough on it to
keep going,
roll through. Mills happy to go home. I think Cameron Byrne-Hughes happy to have something to do.
A feel of the ball, yeah.
It's one thing that is worth praising in this United performance so far is that Liverpool have had a fair bit of ball in the United half and the attacking third, but haven't really got close to the United goal at any point as yet.
Not really created any clear-cut chances, which is a testament to United's defence, really, keep them at bay.
Yellow card for Eden here. It had to be, really, because of course the referee earlier showed a yellow to Junior Brown for a similar grab.
Yeah, right on top of it, the ref, only a couple of yards away.
It's not what you want in the heat of a central midfield battle in a fixture like this.
Yeah, you can't have any argument there. You tug somebody's arm and slow them down, try to knock them off balance, you're going to get pulled for that.
Over his ball forward is a little overexcited. And I would suggest we'll have precious little added time at the end of the half. The game has flowed nicely without any significant injuries or stoppages of any note. And it goes off Cisse. A few crunching tackles going in. Referee happy though with how everybody tried to get the ball.
You can tell the players are just concentrating and get their foot in or hold on to the ball if they've got possession.
Oh, well, Cisse absolutely wiping Ajayi out there.
Felt that one.
He's going to get a yellow card. Interesting to see this one again.
Can't have any complaints here, really. Again,
He was beside himself, wasn't he, there? But looking at the replay, there's not a lot of complaints.
Said something to the ref, but again, the ref's right on top of it again, right up with the play.
Three yellow cards now in this first half. Alafu losing out. This is Eden.
Yeah, another ball just overhit. But good first half for United. Got that early-ish goal, and then McAvoy got the second one to go with it as well. Put them in a comfortable position.
And we're now at the mercy of our referee in terms of the half-time whistle. Kieran Williams having a little look at the watch. On from Burn Hughes, and that was potentially a painful one for Junior Brown, although it didn't seem to bother him. Liverpool looking for a crumb of comfort before half-time. It's Lee Forrester. Well, he shaped to shoot, looking for the corner, and it wouldn't quite bend enough for him.
Just trying to get that curling in that far post. And just sort of mishit it a little bit as well, just not quite going close at all.
That would have changed the dynamics of the game a little. Had that nestled in off the post, perhaps. Here's Bradshaw, seemingly a last foray forward for Liverpool here in the first half, and they've worked it well. The cross was overhit, and plenty of power on the final effort, but no real accuracy to worry Manchester United.
Yeah, just bounced in front of him as he's caught that. Just hits it into the ground. Passing near post, Burn Hughes would have had it covered, I think.
And that is half-time, and Manchester United are in control at the break. Two lovely finishes, very different finishes as well from Jay McAvoy, have given United a 2-goal cushion heading into half-time. A first period which they've controlled for large parts with the ball, and controlled Liverpool as well with their fine defensive work too. Certainly at the break they'll be plenty delighted with what those in red have produced. At the break it's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0.
Ahmad down the line to Mazraoui. Mazraoui forward to Bruno. Lovely little over from Bruno Fernandes, and he's in behind. Gets an early ball into the box. Šeško inside the area. Šeško at the Stretford end. Manchester United never die. Top corner, 3-2. Benjamin Šeško.
That's what your centre forward has come on the pitch for, Bruno Fernandes. Wow!
The noise inside this stadium is unbelievable.
I really enjoy working with him. We speak a lot. He was a big player also, and he always speak with me about how I can help the team to progress with the ball. And he helped me also to understand the game, to think more about how my midfielder plays, how the number 10 playing. And this is something I really like, I like to stay with the ball, have the ball, help the team to go forward. So this is something he helped me to improve with.
What's that feeling like though when that hits the back of the net? Is that a better feeling than that last minute tackle before a goal goes in?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone always says as a defender, they always ask you what do you prefer, a last minute tackle or a goal, but nothing beats scoring a last minute winner. The feeling, obviously the Lyon goal was that late that we knew it was the winner. The Liverpool goal, we still had to focus and concentrate a little bit because there was time left for them to score the equaliser, and then that is an honourable feeling again. So your emotions can run high, but the Lyon goal was the game was just crazy. We thought we was done at 4-2, and to overturn it like we did was fantastic. And I've never heard Old Trafford like that. It was an amazing atmosphere.
Unbelievable. You've given me some of the best commentary moments I think I've had working for this football club. It's been absolutely amazing. What's it like when you're watching on, Aidan, when that happens? Because Old Trafford is unbelievable when it gets noisy like that. And when H pops up with a last minute winner or whoever it is, it's pretty special.
Yeah, that's the loudest I've heard it. Obviously, I was up in the director's bit because I was out at the time, and it was pretty loud up there.
Welcome back. It's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 0 in the Under-18s Premier League at half-time here, and United in control, it's fair to say, for large parts of that first half, and ultimately into the lead and building on that with two fine finishes as well from Jay McAvoy. We'll talk through those in a moment, Arthur, but generally your thoughts on that first half?
It surprised me. I thought we had more possession, or felt like watching it, we had more possession than Liverpool, but the main thing is we've got 2 goals of an advantage and 2 really good strikes as well, especially the first one. But the United have been, without sounding as if we're United sort of red-tinted glasses, the United have been the stronger side. We felt as if they've been attacking most of the game.
Yes, certainly the more threatening side throughout the course of that first half, as has been backed up, I guess, by the goals and also the lack of work for Cameron Byrne-Hughes in the United goal as well. If we have a little look through those sort of headline moments from the first half, And obviously the goals are the two bits that really stand out, but there were sort of moments before that, the link up between Noah Ajay and Louis Bradbury on this occasion, for example.
He does well dancing in the box, Ajay cutting it back, picks out Bradbury. Difficult one, he's gone backwards as he tries to hit that, almost found that near post. But Ajay does the problems, driving into the box, picks out Bradbury, and he just doesn't quite get the connection he was looking for, but nevertheless he almost put his side ahead there.
It was lovely there, wasn't it? Trying to go against where the goalkeeper was going and tuck it back from where it came. And of course, the United did take the lead. This was really well worked as well. Beautiful finish, this. So much power.
Incredible strike there. Just surprised Hall, surprised the defenders. He hits that as soon as he gets the ball into the box. One touch to control and then smashed it on the half volley. Beats Hall, all ends up.
Lovely finish for a player who's made as many substitute appearances as starts before today, and that was his 6th goal of the season. This his 7th, and when the first one had an awful lot of power, this was just sort of finesse with the feet, wasn't it?
Just dances away into the box, gets into the 6-yard box, and he hits it that early that the keeper can't react to it. Good play from Thwaites, getting on to the dead ball line, but he moves that from his right to his left, McAvoy, and then just slots it home.
And those two instances, those two goals, have been examples of what United have done a few times, which Liverpool haven't really done until the very end of the half, at the other end, sort of cutting through the defensive line. Junior Brown's been lively, of course, as well.
He's done well on that right-hand side. This time he's cutting inside onto his left foot. Doesn't quite get enough power in it to trouble Hall, but it's on target nevertheless.
And he and Ajay have enjoyed themselves out wide, it's fair to say, and look likely to cause some more problems for Liverpool as the game continues.
Yeah, get the two of them as much of the ball as they can and let them continue what they've done in the first half into the second.
Fingers crossed that we see plenty more attacking action in the second half, enough there to keep us busy in the first half for sure. We're going to take a sort of step away from the under-18s just briefly. Of course, first team matches on the horizon, including one against Liverpool, and we've been catching up with Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno, welcome to the weekend. Out here in Ireland, not the norm. What's it like to get away with the group?
Oh, it was good. Obviously, we've been away very long. Everyone, national teams are the ones here training still in Manchester. So was good to get this time to be together, to try to make the most of it also because we know how important it's going to be the next games for us.
Well, it's the first chance that you've had, first opportunity to get away with Michael Carrick since he stepped in. What impact has he had from your perspective, and what's he like as a manager?
I knew the kind of personality he was. I think everyone knew him also as a player. The presence of him is very calm. It's someone that always has good words. And I think in the moment he came, he was very good because he understood that the moment wasn't great, because obviously when you change manager, it's always difficult for the players. And he came in with a good mentality, with a good idea, and everyone was very pleased with that, and we can see that by the results.
Well, you personally are having a great season as well. You're closing in on a Premier League assists record. Is that something that you think about?
No, because it's part of my game. It's just obviously I know the record is there and it's very close for me at the moment to reach that. We don't have many games neither, but I know that my game will also be on assisting my teammates, trying to get them to score goals. But it's not like in my mind is just to find a way of winning and getting the race of the top 4 closed as soon as possible.
So you're not thinking Thierry Henry, Kevin De Bruyne are coming for that record?
No, it would be great. I won't lie to you. Obviously, we talk about big names, people that made history in the Premier League. So it will be a huge pleasure and privilege for me. But it's not something that I'm like, oh, I need to do it now. For me, it's more about what we need to do as a team to get into the Champions League spots, because I want to be playing in the Champions League, and I think everyone in the club and in the group wants that too.
Well, your understanding of movement on the pitch is unmatched. Have you got a movement this season that you can think of that stands out to you as your best? Your favourite?
I think probably the assist against Villa. I had a quick eye contact with Quingo when I saw him starting running, so I knew that as soon the ball would come to me, I just had to read it one touch into the space. I think that's a good moment, and probably the assist at Anfield was also a very good one, because obviously the result, the moment, and obviously the assist in himself was a very difficult one, so I would give them 2.
Great. Well, enough of the chit chat. Fancy a quick game?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Great. Come on. Okay, so game is, we're going to be playing a little game of word association. So we'll be given a topic and then we're going to be rallying the ball back and forth to each other, and we've got to give an answer in that topic before the ball gets hit by us.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
You up for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
Can I start already?
Yeah.
Boots.
Trainers.
Shirt.
Electrolytes.
Shirt. Socks. She caught me there. I had socks. I had shorts already, and everything on my head.
But
She went
that?
electrolyte.
That was a bad shot from him.
Yeah, it was a bad
so.
shot for me.
Point.
No, it was a bad shot. She couldn't get to the ball. It's fine. I give it to her. I give it to
Yeah.
her.
What we got next?
Oh my God.
Okay. Seagulls.
Red Devils.
Eagles.
Blues.
Reds.
Oh my. Who's the Reds?
Liverpool.
No, they can't be the Reds.
What do you think they are?
It's only Reds.
Or Nottingham Forest, are also the Reds.
She said Liverpool, and then she's putting Nottingham Forest there.
They're both the Reds.
Okay.
I'm just giving you 2 there.
No, you're just saying the colour of their shirt. You ready?
Yeah.
Bruno.
You have to say their whole name.
Why whole name? There's only one Portuguese Bruno in the Premier League.
This again. Start again. That was unfair.
Okay. Diogo Dalot.
Diaz.
Pedro Neto.
Fernandes.
Bernardo Silva.
Pedrino.
She said you have to say the full name. She said she went Diaz. You ready?
Yeah.
Portugal.
Finland.
Spain.
Denmark.
Belgium.
France.
Italy.
Germany.
Austria.
I suck at this. 2-2.
Oh my God. She's English. Can I say it in Portuguese?
No.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Apple.
Mango.
Banana.
Pear.
Melon.
Orange.
Oh my God. Ah!
You just giving up that?
Yeah, I give up. I forgot.
Strawberry.
Strawberry, grapes.
Cherry.
Yeah.
I had that one in the bag.
Yeah, now that you're not playing with the ball, it's easy.
Well played. I think, what was that, 3-2 to me?
I give it to you. Good win.
Well played.
Great stuff there from Bruno and from Ellie as well on the recent trip to Ireland, of course. A nice little catch-up, a nice little chill out, and Bruno will, of course, be well and truly focused on Liverpool at the weekend, as the under-18s are right now. We're just waiting for the 2 sides to come back out for the second half here. And, of course, the substitutes going through their paces. We might see some of them at some point. The United players who've largely, most of them, played a part in a fair bit of the season so far. We might see a little bit of them in action a bit later, see when Darren Fletcher decides to make a change. And Liverpool, of course, will be thinking about who they can bring on to change the course of this match and to just inject a little bit of attacking threat into proceedings from their point of view. We've had an awful lot to enjoy through the under-18 season, of course, this season, as in previous campaigns. I mean, the last few years as a United youth player have been full of positives in terms of the collective. And of course, we always go on, don't we, Arthur, about the development of these players at this age, not just about necessarily the scoring of goals, but just sort of getting used to playing at this level, at the next level, and learning as they go all the time.
That's exactly it, Dave. They've just you hope that they will continue their progression, and it is a sort of step up the ladder when you move up to the 21s and then eventually, hopefully, move into the first team squad. And you just try and get everybody prepared for what's ahead of them, and it's great to see a lot of these young lads. We saw a little clip that travelled with the first team. Now we saw Bruno over in, I think it was just outside Dublin.
That's right.
Four-day trip. Some of the young lads went on that, and a lot of them have been involved now with the first team squad, travelling up and down to London when they've been playing and what have you. So it's a great situation for the players to get into and hopefully be knocking on that door to get in the first team squad.
Yeah, and we mentioned the 21s this season. I mean, both United and Liverpool getting through to the playoff stage of the 21, so some of these youngsters involved at that level through the course of the season. Liverpool finishing 7th in the table, United finishing 2nd behind Chelsea on goal difference, of course, and going through to the round of 16. United beating Sunderland at the Progress with Unity Stadium, Lee Sports Village as we know it. Liverpool losing out at that stage against Crystal Palace on penalties. Such a frustrating way for their season to end in that sense. And you just wonder what lies ahead for these youngsters. Of course, the chance to play a little bit more 21s football towards the end of the season. Then pre-season comes around, and some of these guys will get the opportunity perhaps to travel with the first team or to play pre-season fixtures with the 21s. And of course, for some, the future will lie away from the clubs that they're currently at.
Yeah, not every player on show all the time is going to get into the first team. You've just got to make them well-rounded players that can continue their education, maybe possibly at other clubs, but certainly this being a World Cup year as well, so a lot of teams will be going on pre-season trips, possibly minus some World Cup players, so it's a great chance for the young lads to get a great experience travelling with the first team again. Yeah,
it's a very good point, that, isn't it? Because in a tournament summer, there are often more opportunities for youngsters to go on pre-season and to get that vibe, if only for the first couple of games of pre-season perhaps, but it still means the world, doesn't it? It's another experience which helps you along the way.
It's an education, just travelling with the first team and feeling as if you're part of that first team squad, and it helps you then to sort of get into it. Suddenly I've become a first team player, you know, and hopefully some of these lads, from our perspective, that'll be the progression for them this summer.
While we're waiting for these players to come out, we must just touch on the first team game at the weekend. United obviously getting the result against Brentford the other night, which means that third place is where the Reds sit at the moment. Liverpool, of course, have had an interesting campaign with a lot of criticism flying around, but ultimately they look set for a place in the Champions League as well as it stands. It's going to be quite the clash, isn't it?
It always is, regardless of what's at stake, but certainly it will be a great clash, and we've done ourselves a big favour getting 3 points out against Brentford in the previous game, which was a tricky match really, but we've got the 3 points and we're going into that above them, and hopefully that'll be the case after we finish with the game against them on Sunday.
Funny, isn't it, because we often talk about the need for performances to be strong at first team level as well as getting the results, but ultimately in a sort of derby match like that, a lot of people don't care about performance so much. It's just about emerging with a smile on your face at the end.
Yeah, you want to send the fans home happy, as simple as that really. It'll be a fantastic atmosphere, great games to play in, and you just want the fans to go home happy and hopefully see your side winning. It looks, with Michael in the job for the best part of 3 or 4 months now, it looks as if that's exactly what the first team players are like. They all seem to be happy with the way they're playing and enjoying it.
And I think as well the 18s will be happy with the way that things are developing here, particularly Jay McAvoy, who's on for a hat-trick as it stands at half-time. 2 well-taken goals from him, 2 well-created goals by the side in general. Liverpool with it all to do as we approach the start of the second half, albeit it'll be Manchester United's ball. Louis Bradbury just getting familiar with the ball in the centre circle. Very shortly we'll be underway again and see what these two sides can produce for us. A few just had a ticking off in that first half, of course, with the yellow card. Junior Brown for United, Prince Cisse and Luca Eden as well for Liverpool. So those 3 have to be a little careful in the second period. And we're good to go. 2-0 at the break then, as it was in the reverse fixture between these two, when the final score was Manchester United 7, Liverpool 0. So both sides will be aware of the fact that one half of football can change an awful lot. But that being said, Liverpool will want to get stuck into this second half and not allow Manchester United the opportunity to stretch away from them again.
Yeah, we've got to expect a reaction from them coming here 2-0 down at half-time. They'll probably feel a little bit harshly done by, but you've got to expect some sort of reaction, and I'm sure United will be well prepared for that.
And having the ball at the start of the second half is part of that idea of just killing any momentum that Liverpool might want to build. Hence the lack of rush from Cameron Byrne-Hughes of getting rid of the ball. As ever, Thwaites just dropping in between Mills and McCormack just to allow the two United wing-backs, or full-backs, but they're almost playing as wing-backs, to fly up the field. Up and away it goes for Halafu, who is trying desperately to get there before Bailey Hall.
A great long pass there from Jim Thwaites, picking out at Halafu.
Gabriel had it for a moment, taken off his toes by Harvey Owen. I thought, just for a split second, that Jay McAvoy might have looked up and seen the goalkeeper off his line and thought, well, there's a hat-trick in the offing here.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have went through his mind if he saw that.
James Overy to take the throw. Morley Forrester just applying a little bit of pressure. Here's McCormack trying to tuck it in behind Liverpool. It's a clever ball for Brown. And Bailey Hall decided he had to sweep it away with the legs. It's McAvoy who does go for glory this time, but it's an easy gather.
Yeah, great long pass there from McCormack, almost setting United on the attack there from that right-hand side.
Nice touch from Farkas. It's moved on here to Morley Forrester. Trying to find a path through to goal. Closed down by Halafu. It's going to be a corner.
Yeah, good defending, stayed on his feet, didn't dive in. It looks as if they possibly got tangled up with their bootlaces, I think, there. And that tackle went in.
So an important moment this, early on in the second half. The last thing you want to do with a 2-goal lead is give the opposition a real chance to claw their way back into the game. And Liverpool almost created something there. Frustration that the header didn't have a little bit more behind it.
Yeah, I think it was Owen, the fullback, had just got a glancing header on that, couldn't direct it goalwards though.
Might well have been, if one of the two centre-halves was forward, that they might have fancied their chances a little more there.
Possibly, yeah.
Not that I'd ever want to offend the left-back union.
No, keep the centre-halves happy, that was our job. Yeah, just assessing everything again, Byrne-Hughes, he does that quite well. He fired one into Bradbury, sort of chest height just before half-time, just couldn't quite control it, but that's the way the strikers want the ball, if they can, if you're hitting it from the back.
He does have that ability with the feet, doesn't he? Of course, the minute I say that, he gives it away. It's the way it works with the curse of the commentator. Someone who is very comfortable at the back, as you now have to be as an academy goalkeeper, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to be. Yeah, it's just the way the modern game's gone, really. The keeper gets a lot of the ball passed back to him.
Gabriel skipping onto it and going down to ground, but not really looking at the referee in appeal for anything. Tidied up by Albert Mills. And of course, with the ball at feet here, Cameron Byrne-Hughes can take as long as he wants to, or as long as Liverpool give him. The first half, we heard the final 5 seconds of the 8-second count down from the referee when the ball is in the goalkeeper's hands. Jay back there with Prince Cisse. Well, that's not a ball that Owen particularly wanted, and then Brown is taken down. And that seemed, from our vantage point here, to be inside the box. It'd be interesting to watch it again. Initially a free kick given here.
Yeah, maybe just outside, although they both ended up in the box. Keeper Hall there has given sort of no alternative really. Had to lunge into that tackle, getting the yellow card for it.
Harvey Owen booked. It did seem on a second look that it was the right call, just outside the penalty area. But Manchester United chance there, all of Liverpool's making really, albeit the pressure applied by Brown was key to it. But the pass from Bailey Hall, not one of his finest.
It's the onus is with the goalkeeper there, and he's in a position where he's getting lots of the ball, and he can see what's in front of him, his teammates and his opponents closing him down there. And it looked as if you entice them into a pass, they're all going to be pouncing on it. Whereas what we've seen in the last 5 minutes with Burn Hughes down the other end, he's not getting closed down at all, so he can pass it into midfield. But on that occasion, good play by Junior Brown there, reading the situation.
Well, it will be interesting to see when the dust settles here who takes this and what happens from this dead ball situation. Certainly Jim Thwaites looks favourite at this stage.
I was just going to say exactly that. It looks tailor-made for him to hit it, and he can hit it either way, near post or far post.
Well, Junior Brown patched up and seemingly okay to carry on. And for now, the issue for Bailey Hall is to make sure that he can see what Jim Thwaites is going to try and do with this.
You can hit a ball any way you want, really. As I say, you can go one side of the post or the near side, or hitting it over at the far post, even with his right foot, makes no difference.
It is Thwaites, not one of his finest, and that one is sliced away. Liverpool's wall doing its job.
Yeah, standing tall, blocking the attempt there.
In the end, it was a wise yellow card to take, wasn't it? Because it looked like Junior Brown was through for number 3 there.
He was reading the situation, as I say, because he's enticed the pass out from the keeper Hall there and just pounced on it.
Here is Owen. For Eden, 2 of the 3 Liverpool players on a yellow card now. McAvoy with Brown in support, Gabriel as well, just trying to shift it across, poking it through for a J. He did really well to get there, or did he not quite in time? No.
I was just going to say he done really well to get there. I thought the pass might have just been a little bit overhit and he dug that out from the dead ball line, but the ref's again right on top of it. He deemed it being out.
Well, his side need to try and find a way back in here. And this second half, really, the 10 minutes or so that we've had, the ball has largely just been at the Liverpool end. We are going to see a United change in a moment. Activity over on the bench. And Amir Ibrahimov, I think, is about to be introduced. Nice spin from Overy. Thwaites just losing out. Touch from Farkas. The run from Eden there wasn't quite picked out. Morley Forrester with red shirts all around him and bringing down Junior Brown, who's just got over the last injury and might have picked up another knock now.
Got another whack there, but I'm sure he'll run that off. But doing his defensive duties to helping out Halafu there.
Forward it goes to Bradbury. Couldn't quite turn it round the corner. Ajay trying to wrestle his way past two.
Yeah, just too many white shirts there tackling back, crowding them out.
Good solid defending again. This time from McCormack. Chance for Overton to stretch his legs. Advantage played. And it'll still go because Brown has it now. There were fully 3 fouls in that particular move.
Yeah, the ref could take his pick of whatever one he wanted.
Bradshaw, who we've not seen an awful lot in this game, a player capable of taking a game to an opponent, but he's not really had too much service.
Yeah, just getting a bit scrappy there. You've got to get the ball out of there if it's too tight.
And here comes the change. Amir Ibrahimov will come on here. He'll replace Jim Thwaites. Some all-important game time for the United substitute. And he's going to get roughly half an hour in this game, all being well.
Yeah, missed quite a few games through injury, and hopefully it's another 30 minutes for him to get his fitness better.
He's very much had to be patient for game time this season. A few substitute appearances for the under-21s and a goal from the bench as well for them.
Yeah, good play from Halafu again there. Managed to get out his left-hand side.
Ajay after good work from Overy, and then it was a bit of a swipe from the United left-back. Morley Forrester. Liverpool preparing a triple change, by the way. Hugo up against Ibrahimov. Halafu there as well. It's nicely done by Ibrahimov, who took the contact.
Yeah, wins the ball and then gets upended for his troubles out.
So the 3 Liverpool changes, we're going to see Alvin Ayman, Oliver O'Connor and Hayden Murray home. And now they're just going to work out the players to come off. In fact, we're going to lose the 2 Liverpool fullbacks. And indeed the front man, Morley Forrester. So that just freshens up things from a Liverpool point of view. And all importantly, those 3 players coming on, given a decent chunk of game in which they can try and influence things. Murray home, prodding it back. Bradbury giving chase. Here's Eden. Ball was taken, says the referee. Clear instruction from him. Murray home again for Bradshaw, who's looking for Alvin Ayman here. Couldn't get it past Halafu.
Yeah, good challenge. Good challenge from Halafu, getting across there, blocking it, not allowing the cross to go into the central area.
And it comes into the mix. Out again off for Jay. Murray Holmes corner. Oh, where's that going? It's going in. Dear me. That was a right mess at the back, and Joseph Bradshaw was very happy to mop up to get into double figures for the season.
I thought the corner was mishit, and I think Bradbury just sort of came off his boot. He's not connected with it. And that's surprised Burn Hughes. It came off the post as well. That's why it comes back out to Bradshaw. Bradbury doing his defensive duties and not being a defender. He's in an unfamiliar area, the near post.
That's a frustrating way to give away a clean sheet and to let Liverpool back into the game. Ibrahimov had it and then lost it. That goal will just put a spring in the Liverpool step now.
It gives them something to aim for and play for. They never looked like getting a goal at all. Give him a bit of a lifeline, but Brown's got a chance here.
It is Brown who's wanting it on the left, and either side of the goalkeeper. It could have been interesting for Manchester United, but Bailey Hall was comfortable.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get any power in his shot, maybe a little bit off balance.
Yes, Ayman. Plenty screaming for the pass.
Yeah, he's done well, Halafi there. Twice going into tackles, winning the ball for his side.
Ibrahimov moving well with the ball. For Ajay. Bradbury in the middle, Gabriel as well. Ajay might fancy this. And Bradbury on the spin. Earns Manchester United a corner.
Yeah, good play on that left-hand side again from Ajay. Cutting inside, you think he's maybe just lost the ball, but he's still got it under control. Bradbury does well to protect it. Trying to turn and getting a shot and wins a corner for the side.
A corner which Gabriel goes across to, well, I was going to say to take. He's leaving it for Jay McAvoy. 25 minutes of the game remaining. That's bending all the time, but just away from Ibrahimov.
Yeah, once it gets up in there with the wind going that direction, it just seems to sail over everybody.
Going to see Samuel Lusali in a minute. Just seeing he's getting himself changed and ready for action. McCormack back for Mills, back for Burn Hughes. That's a shove from Ajay. Liverpool keen to get on with it, of course. Just a little too quickly there. He's done well there, Ajay.
Done really well.
And releases Gabriel, who looks in turn for Bradbury. Just wasn't quite turned around the corner enough for him.
Yeah, you could see the idea.
Hayden Murray home with some good work in midfield already since coming on. Alvin Ayman unable to shake off Brown. This game is set up now, isn't it, for the final quarter?
Let's give them something to aim for. Getting a goal out of nothing, really. Never looked like scoring at all. United's defence has been solid throughout the hour that we've played.
Burn Hughes into McAvoy, whose second goal all of a sudden is proving crucial to the outcome of this game.
Yeah, Bradbury's done well again there, winning that ball for his side, holding off the defender.
Ibrahimov and Brown, who was waiting for the contact, it's fair to say. The Manchester United substitution will be made now. It's Samuel Lusali on for Noah Ajay. Fresh legs and fresh ideas for the last quarter of the game. Mills.
He's done well, just going to say he's done well there. Mills stepped in, knew he was getting closed down, goes and wins the ball and picks out Brown on that left-hand side. And his use of the ball from the back has been excellent again, as it normally is.
It's one of the ways United have looked very comfortable today, isn't it? That the playing out from the back has been solid and hasn't seen those in red take any real risk.
I've said it so many times that it's the guys at the back that have that extra time on the ball, and their use of it's got to be good. And all season it's been like that with Armour alongside him. But today again, if there's 20 yards of space in front of you, he gets into it very quickly and then picks a pass out.
Yeah, Dan Armour is another one of those players not involved today. Of course, the Youth Cup final on the horizon. It's a scrap for the shirts for that night.
Yep.
McAvoy getting his toe to the ball there, setting Brown away. Gabriel. Lusali only just on, looking to make the immediate impact. He was perhaps just a little overexcited with the end product.
Yeah, done the right thing, trying to get to that dead ball line. Just got to dig the cross out. Difficult to defend against if the cross is right. Just got underneath that one.
Another one who's really contributed with the goals this season. He's put 5 in the back of the opponent's nets. Only 15 appearances before today.
Yeah, good closing down again to not allowing Liverpool to build any attack there, and wins a corner for United.
corner out of nothing, really, as you say, just won by work rate and desire. Halafu leaves it for Gabriel. We'll start again with Overy. Ibrahimov. There's an element of game management going on now as well, isn't there? Not just trying to win the game, but trying to sort of see things through a little.
Yeah, pick the right pass out to try and get the ball to the wide players or the strikers.
Mills' ball just about finds Cameron Byrne-Hughes. I'm sure he'll say he had it all under control.
Yeah, and I'm sure the keeper will say exactly the same with the ball back to him as well.
Wind just starting to whistle around again as Cameron Byrne-Hughes steps forward with it. At some point we will need to see a bit more urgency from Liverpool.
Well, they've got themselves a little bit back into the game, but United have sort of controlled it since that goal went in after 5 minutes after getting on the score sheet. United, they've done okay, but United have sort of repelled them now.
Ball was taken, and Charlie managing to tackle his own teammates.
I was just going to say that, almost got tackled by a red shot there.
It's a lovely run forward. He just couldn't either find the power for the finish or the pass for Bradbury.
Wasn't too far away from Bradbury getting a sort of toe on that to deflect it on its way.
Jariah Shah is prepared, ready to come on for Manchester United. He'll be on in a moment.
Yeah, good play again for United. Closing them down quickly, hurried pass, and they give you the ball back with the throw-in.
Dante Plunkett there as well, about to come on too. It's a United throw. And the double Manchester United change will be made now. Junior Brown and Louis Bradbury are going to make their way from the field. So the 4 outfield changes have been made by Darren Fletcher. Ibrahimov.
He's done brilliant now.
To bounce back up after the challenge from Lucas Clark. Of course, Manchester United still with a shot of winning the Northern Group in the Under-18s League, albeit behind Manchester City. They were in the box seat to finish top of the table, and of course whoever finishes top of the North plays the team top of the South in the national final. Chelsea have got that wrapped up.
Yeah, good experience for them to play against some sides that they don't usually come up against.
And there's Charlotte. Just out-muscled in the end. No free kick going Liverpool's way. On they go with the ball this time instead. Bradshaw, scorer of that slightly bizarre Liverpool goal as Overy closes the door on the Merseysiders.
Yeah, good defender from Overy, stayed on his feet, made sure he won the ball, get out of play.
That's offside. Liverpool's final outfield change is going to happen now. It's going to be Ellis Hickman who comes on for them. And it's Farkas who makes way. He's had some nice touches here and there in the final third, but
yeah, decent, yeah.
Hasn't been able to inspire Liverpool so far to being in control of the game. We're about 13 minutes away from, as it stands, a Manchester United victory. It's interesting you make the point about the teams that these two sides play at this level now, because over the course of the time that we've been covering these league matches, what, fully 20 years, it's changed a fair bit, the system, hasn't it?
It has done, yeah. The season seems to be stretched out longer, and don't know why, but it just seems to be the way.
United facing the likes of Burnley, teams like that who perhaps didn't feature in the early days of our live academy coverage, although they did come to Old Trafford and win a Youth Cup tie from memory. Jason Gilchrist with a hat-trick, I think, that night. It was quite a night for them. Here come Liverpool with Upton and Murray Home, who's looked very at home in the middle of the park since coming on as a second half substitute. Here he is against Ibrahimov, who wonders where the pressing has gone from a United point of view.
He done his job, closing his opponent down.
Upton again. Hayden Murray Home. Trying to put a bit more pace on it. Upton, the captain, once more. For Cisse. Not quite on the same page as his colleagues there.
Yeah, good challenge from Overy coming in.
Feels like this game should have been a little more comfortable than it actually now is for Manchester United.
Yeah, could do another goal really just to cement hopefully the 3 points.
Lovely work rate from Overy to win it back. Gabriel beaten off the ball. This is O'Connor. Eamon and Murray Home returning the favour. Cross that seemed hard to read for everybody due to the swirling gusty wind. Ibrahimov down, but back to his feet as Lusali tries in vain to keep that in.
Yeah, just difficult once it's up in the air, as I said before. It's gone really. Got to keep it on the ground and keep it below head height if you're hitting it long.
Back to Burn Hughes. Overy down off the ball. Gabriel waiting in the middle here. Plunkett for Gabriel. On the spin for Lusali. Now, What's he given there? He's given a penalty. And a chance for Manchester United to close things out.
I was going to say good patient build-up, and Braghamov going into the box there. That ball from Lusale, just allowing him a yard of space there. No, nowhere near the ball. It's just a coming together there. You can't argue with that.
It's a really daft challenge in the end, isn't it? It seemed soft on first viewing, but there was no need to do that, really.
No, you're going into an area where you've just got to be careful, really. Unless you're going to get a touch on the ball, you've got to be sure that if you're putting your leg out, you don't make any contact with the opposition player. But contact there, and it's a penalty, and the ref whistle right away.
So it's Gabriel who places the ball. And Liverpool turn to Bailey Hall here to try and keep them in the game. Gabriel makes no mistake. It's a lovely penalty. And that should see United through to 3 points.
Yeah, slotted it away comfortably there. Low at the keeper's left. He decides to go the other way. Hopefully that should be enough. Now, as the minutes run out for Liverpool, should be enough for United to get the 3 points out of this game, which is fully deserved.
Keep talking.
A penalty of power and poise, which gave Bailey Hall no chance. And a third goal that might well knock the stuffing out of Liverpool. They've tried and tried to make things happen in the second half, albeit their goal really coming through a defensive mix-up. But such a frustrating penalty from their point of view to give away, because it actually came from a player who's come on and made a bit of a difference to that midfield, who made a bit of a daft challenge.
Yeah, he's got forward a few times to create some chances for his side, but no doubt about that one. The referee blew it straight away when the challenge was made, and it was clumsy rather than sort of dirty.
Heyman's ball for Eden. Bit of room here for Upton. Murray home. Upton once again. This is where Liverpool have done a lot of probing, but United have kept those two lines quite solid in their way.
Yeah, confronting them with red shots to keep them at bay.
Eamon's good attacking run. That's bending all the time, and Overy wasn't quite sure who was behind him, so he just stuck it out for a corner.
Just help the ball on its way and make sure it does go out of play, and then everybody can get adjusted to the corner coming in now.
Into the box it goes. It's there for Liverpool. And Cameron Byrne-Hughes stood up strongly when Manchester United needed him there.
Yeah, point blank release from a yard out there. He's just made sure his body's big enough to make a save there, which he did.
It's so important there to cover as many angles as you can, as goalkeepers do.
Must be the ref helping them out there with the countdown.
Yes, so that's the rule. You've got 8 seconds, haven't you, with the ball in your hand, but the referee will count down the final 5. Upton penalised.
Yeah, Braghamov always available in that midfield role, coming short for it. Just seen the save again. Didn't quite get the connection, but the main thing is you stop it going in your net.
Lucas Clark it was who was right in the middle, trying to prod it home. Plunkett chasing. done well there, actually, to make it his.
Done really well, keeping that in.
Upton under considerable pressure from Ibrahimov, who's penalised.
Yeah, he's done well, Ibrahimov. Probably didn't need to go sort of wholeheartedly in that challenge, but they've won it back again.
And here's Gabriel with a bit of room. Oh, and he's managed to pass it in beautifully. That's a delightful finish. Looked like he was going to be crowded out, but he found a route through to goal.
Looks as if he's just got half a yard there, and it looks as if he's going to smash it. We've seen him score goals like that throughout the season. Just takes it half a yard and hits it with a lot of power. This time he doesn't. He just makes sure it's in that far post there. Trickling in off the post, it looked like, at that far side. Keeper's thinking the shot's going to come in, and just moves it quickly. Slots it away in that far side. Typical striker's goal.
I think many perhaps there were expecting him to put the boot through it. And sometimes on those occasions, a defender or a goalkeeper can get in the way and deny you. He went for the subtle approach. And there's no doubt now where the game is going in terms of the points. I think there was a yellow card flashed towards one of the United players after one of the challenge. There was a coming together just before the goal. All the way back to Cameron Byrne-Hughes. Well, as it stands, Arthur, it'll be the double over Liverpool with 11 goals scored and 1 conceded.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Fully deserved as well. Had a sort of 10-minute period when they got a goal to get back in the game, but United have ran out comfortable in the end.
And this could get ugly for Liverpool, as it did in the reverse fixture. We mentioned how there were a fair few goals in the second half, but there were 3 goals in the last 6 minutes plus added time.
Yeah, once they got ahead in that game in the second half, it just ran out of steam, Liverpool, but certainly another positive result today from United, and similar but not as many, but comfortable.
Upton's challenge. Manchester United ball. Nicely played. Gabriel with some room here. And he did go for the power this time and gets a corner for his troubles.
Yeah, he moves the ball from right to left quickly. That's what I've said before. It confuses defenders. Very comfortable with both feet.
Ibrahimov back towards McCormack. Drifting past a few challenges. Through for Gabriel. And that's a foul by Bradshaw. Shah it was who was squashed into the ground.
Yeah, just took away his standing leg there.
Well, we've had the 90 minutes now. We'll wait and see how long we play in added time. It's Manchester United's game, that's beyond doubt now. The question is by how many? Foul on McCormack.
And just a bit of frustration coming in now.
Charlie. Nicely played, nicely carried.
Good play to burst away from his opponent and then switch the play.
Plunkett here. Back for Overy. McAvoy. United just ran out of steam at the end there. Upton, who was stuck to his task all afternoon, just hasn't been able to really get his Liverpool side going. Ibrahimov rather just pulling up there, which will be a real frustration for him and a concern from a United point of view after the injury trouble he's had this season. Looks in some distress there.
Yeah, it didn't really look like an innocuous challenge, and obviously he's felt it right away. I think he's actually, once he's kicked the ball, it's maybe just twisted it as he's landed. Well, let's hope he's okay anyway, after being out for quite a while throughout the season.
Yeah, so frustrating for youngsters who miss a load of game time with bumps and bruises here and there. You can see the ability he's got since coming on, what he's brought to the table.
Yeah, came on and replaced the Thwaites, and the two of them are quite similar, comfortable with the ball, picking out the right pass.
Nicely done by Lusalik. For Halafu, for Gabriel. And Lusalik trying to dart between two. He's managed it! And all that was missing was the finish.
He's done everything right there. Won the initial header, initially when it got hit up to him, then to follow the pass through. Skips it through his opponent's legs. He's got the whole goals there, and you put money on him scoring there, but unfortunately it just goes wide.
That's it. A very good day at the office for Manchester United's under-18s. Any victory against Liverpool is one to give those in Manchester United red a lot of happiness, and they'll be pleased with today because they were solid defensively, they were clinical going forward, and they made it look relatively simple against their familiar foes. It means the double over those from Merseyside after the 7-0 win in the reverse fixture. A 4-1 victory here. Doubles from McAvoy and Gabriel ensured a comfortable afternoon in the sunshine, and 3 more points to add to the tally. It ends Manchester United 4, Liverpool 1. I think it's fair to say that Manchester United will be pretty pleased with the afternoon's work there.
Well, I'm sure they'll all be delighted with that. Ran out comfortable winners in the end. There was only a 5-10 minute period when Liverpool got that goal and they came back into it, but United ran out comfortable winners in the end.
Let's have a look back at the moments that mattered from the game. And it's just a case of looking at the goals really here, and in fairness, the goals were all impressive in their own way. The first two, of course, coming from Jay McAvoy.
Yeah, this one's hit with so much power there. It just surprised Hall, the goalkeeper, and the Liverpool defenders, putting United 1 up so early in the game.
Certainly put plenty behind that. And the 2 goals from him were contrasting, weren't they? Because there was plenty of force in that one and a fair bit of finesse in this one.
Yeah, good play from Thwaites on that side. Getting to the dead ball line, picking him out, moves it from right to left, and then slots it past Hall again, this time with a plum.
Beautifully done, skipping through to finish. And of course, 2-0 feels a little bit comfortable, but then there's always that worry that it can become 2-1 and the game can change. And that sort of happened for a little moment.
Yeah, they needed the goal to get back in it, which they just got there. Bradbury sort of missed his kick there, and Brown Hughes is surprised they get it to 2-1 and have a bit of a charge then.
So a nerve settler was required then, really, and it came with a bit of a silly challenge that just opened the door for victory.
Yeah, Bragimov getting in the box, just getting away from his opponent. That's all he's got to do. And then the challenge comes in, and United managed to make it 3-1 from the spot kick from Gabriel.
Yeah, nice finish this from Gabriel, sending the keeper the wrong way, tucking it into the corner with that powerful finish as well. His first of 2 in the end, because his second followed not too long after, and this was a nice subtle finish.
Clever strike, really. We've seen him hit it with so much power throughout the season. This time he just gets half a yard away, picks out that far post, keeper can't do anything. Makes it sure for United with a 4-1 win.
I think many were expecting the power, but instead he just tucked it into the corner. And that was that. 4 goals for Manchester United and 3 points, and a big win against United's local rivals, of course, Liverpool. So a really good offering in the sunshine here. Hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage today. Arthur, thanks for your company as ever.
Pleasure.
Nice to be reunited again, and hopefully you've enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see plenty more from this under-18s team and of course under-18s in the future. All the best. Bye for now.
Made their way to Stockholm for a midday Wednesday kickoff. Unbelievable. Turland on a hat-trick into the penalty area, scores for Manchester United, and what a place to grab your hat-trick. European qualifying, Champions League qualifying.